Hello and welcome to Aqua Lifestyle. I'm Glenn and today we're going to be covering the EliteFS, the brand new unit from Lowrance. This incredible fish finder chart plotter can do a wide range of things. It's good for the bass fishermen, the freshwater fishermen. It's also good for inshore and offshore fishing. Incredibly capable machine, and we're going to go through all those capabilities and functions and talk about everything that this machine can do. Folks at Lowrance were kind enough to send us out a unit for us to take a look at. We're not sponsored by them, but they were nice enough to send it to us. So let's break it down. We're going to start, this video is going to be the first one in a 4-part series. The first video, we're going to do an unboxing and talk about the basic features and go through the basic features and basic setup, initial setup of the machine. The second in the series, we'll talk about setting up your fish finder for bass and freshwater fishing. The third video in the series, we're going to cover setup of your fish finder for inshore and offshore fishing. And the last in the series, we'll go into the cartography, the incredible cartography that this machine is capable of, how to set that up and how to make it work best for you. So stay tuned. Let's start with the unboxing. Now, the first thing worth noting with these new machines, this is a brand new machine from Lowrance, is their packaging. If you notice on the sides here, it talks about protecting our oceans, rivers, lakes, recycle here, and on the other side here, we've got packaging with principles. What all this means is Lowrance and its parent company, Navico, are leading the way in the industry in sustainable packaging. They don't want to be a company that contributes to the massive amounts of plastics in our environment and materials that are just thrown away, adding to our landfill, and adding to global pollution. They're doing a wonderful job with this new packaging, wanting to leave no trace, and with all of the materials being recycled or recyclable and plastics that disintegrate quickly, they've done a fantastic job. So turn it up on its end here and slide the sleeve right off. And you'll notice our packaging here. We open it up and welcome to the team. Let's get started. It tells you the steps that you should do first. And of course it says download the Lowrance app to your smartphone, tablet, and register your new Lowrance unit to get immediate access to mobile charts, online manuals, and much more. Definitely worth doing. You can join the Lowrance community and follow YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram channels for helpful tips, advice on getting the most out of your device, just like this channel. You can visit Lowrance.com to access software updates, manuals, templates, and to see compatible accessories for your Lowrance unit. Okay, so we'll open up this little flap, and again, notice it's all sustainable, recycled materials. On the inside of the flap here, they actually talk about the packaging and what they use within these units and how they are sustainable. There's the little QR code in the corner here. If you want to learn more, you can click on that, and it's quite interesting. They're really doing their part for the environment. Right up top here, of course, one of the important things for this unit is the owner's manual, and it does look like a book. There's a lot in there. It's a very, very capable machine. By the time you viewed these videos, the 3 that pertain to you within our series, you'll know how to do the vast majority of features and functions in this manual. You'll also be able to get free 1-page quick reference guides when you sign up for our newsletter at our website, aqualifestyle.net. Okay, here we have the unit itself. And if I take these off here, even the plastic that they wrap this in is a type of plastic that can be recycled and disintegrates easily. You can read about that on the back of that panel that I showed you previously. You got a really nice sun cover here, very tight fit. There's a sun cover. You got little rubber pads on the back of that so it doesn't scratch your display. So you've got power, You've got NEMA 2000, Ethernet, and your transducer. This little thing right here is your GPS antenna. Fantastic unit. Very, very fast, very, very accurate. Locks onto a lot of satellites. And of course, the more satellites you can lock onto, the more accurate your GPS position is going to be. And in here, you have more manual information. You got a quick guide. And I recommend reading through the quick guide before you actually take a look at your owner's manual. This will walk you through a lot of features and functions and get you familiar with the operating logic and the operating system in the machine. A great start and great resource. So definitely look through that. And then you've got your paperwork for your warranty. In this little envelope here, again, all recyclable materials. You have, rather than in plastic bags, these little rubber caps that actually come on the back of the unit. I have opened this before. And you've got a fuse, inline fuse for your power cord, and you have mounting hardware, screws and mounting hardware in there. Put it all the way back. Little rubber plugs that cover the outlets that you're not using. You have a power cord. That is your power cord. You have a gimbal bracket and your knobs. Now, some units are going to come with a transducer. That would also be in here. This is a demo unit that we're going to be running on simulator mode, so I don't have a transducer with it. But they can come with the Active Scan all-in-one transducer. It gives you side view, down view, and chirp. There are a multitude of transducer options for this machine. So check and make sure that you're getting a unit with a transducer. If you're not, that you're selecting the transducer that's best going to work for the type of fishing that you're doing in your area. Okay, let's take a look at the machine itself. The Lowrance EliteFS. It's available in 7 and 9 inch models. This particular one is the 9 inch. And this video we're going to talk about the initial setup. So you've taken it out of the box, you've seen everything that it comes with, looked through the manuals, and now you're ready to get started. So let's talk about the unit real quick. Looks like it's just the logo over here, but in fact, if you look underneath here, this is where the chart card goes. So you got a little rubber flap, micro SD cards go in there, or memory cards go in there, and you just press the Lowrance rubber down so it's a nice tight watertight seal. Over here we have our Pages button. This will take you back to your home page. This button with a flag here is to mark a waypoint quickly. You just press that button, it'll mark a waypoint. Zoom in and out, and plus and minus. You've got a hotkey here, a programmable hotkey. We're going to talk about that and show you how to do that. Short press one function, long press another function. And then you have your power button here, which also brings up a settings menu. So let's start by powering up. Press the power button, and it will flash the EliteFS, and it'll load in. Okay, so in our initial setup, we're going to select our language. We want English. We're going to confirm yes. Then you're going to get this default screen. You're going to get this every time you power the unit up. Basically, what this is doing is telling you that you can't rely on this as a sole means of navigation, and you're ultimately responsible for your vessel and any issues you may have navigating with it. So just hit accept. Device configuration. Do you want to configure this device for your typical use now? Yes, we do. So we will hit configure this device. It's going to ask us what units of measure do you want to use. We want to use, we're going to set it for miles per hour, miles, feet, and degrees Fahrenheit, but you can choose whichever you want. Where will you mostly be using this device? You got lakes or coastal. Now we are going to do separate videos on setting up your fish finder for freshwater and separate one for coastal, inshore and offshore waters. So we're going to put this coastal. What depth will you mostly be using? And you have the option more or less than 1,000 feet. We're going to be less. Configuration is nearly complete, so we will hit finish. And now we're going to come up with this screen, network. Auto data selection will be performed. Connect and power up all network devices. So you're going to hit OK, and you're going to power up network devices, and you'll have this screen. Now what this is for, allows the Wi-Fi within the machine to lock onto your Wi-Fi, and you can get you can register the unit, and you can get customer support, waypoints, data, that kind of thing, through your smart device, and you can keep up with the latest updates. And this will configure it and help you set up the app on your phone or your smart device to be able to run it in conjunction with your display. Now that's a separate video. Watch for that one. So we're going to hit Not Now because we're configuring the device. Okay, so your first screen is going to be that pops up, maybe the chart screen. We're not interested in this right now. What we want to do is hit our Pages button here and bring up our home screen. Now for initial setup, there's a few things. We've done the basics there, but there are a few other things that we may want to do. So let's talk about this screen first before we go any further. Up here you have a cog. Now that cog, if you press that, is going to bring up your settings. You got system, and you have settings for your different functions in the machine, and we'll go through those shortly here. If we go back, every time you hit that X, it's going to take you back to your previous screen. Over here in this column, we have waypoints, alarms, vessels, info, storage. And if you notice down here, I got a little arrow down at the bottom right here. That indicates that there's more down below, so you can use your finger and scroll up. So we've got vessels, info, storage, phone, and store. Basically waypoints, tap on that, it's going to access your waypoints, routes, and trails. If you had a list of waypoints, they would show up here. Same with the routes, same with the trails. We'll go back here, that was your waypoints. That's one way to access waypoints and create waypoints, and we'll get into that later. Okay, alarms, just like it says, active history and settings. So you can go in and pick alarms, whatever you want, turn them on and off simply by pressing on the little switch toggle button on the screen there. Okay, so active history settings. Okay, all right, so we can close that up again. Again, it takes us back to our previous screen. Vessels, this you can configure it for different vessels. You've got info. You've got your tides on one screen, which is really nice here. So it's going to pick the tidal station that's closest to the GPS location that the display determines. And it's these tide tables are really handy. Obviously, it's like having tide charts with you all the time, but you can actually move this, put your cursor over here, and you can see that the next highest tide is going to be 1.8 feet at 7:14 p.m. So if I need maximum flow, or I'm fishing an area, or I need maximum tide, I know that the next maximum tide is going to be plus 1.8 feet, and it's 7:14 p.m. You also have a trip log here, so with all your trip data, and over here you have sun and moon, rise and set, rise and set. So very handy. Those are all in the info section. Storage, this is going to be wherever you have whatever files you store in there, sonar logs, screen captures, that type of thing. Waypoint lists, those are all in your log area there. Phone, this, you press it, and this is if you want to connect it to your smartphone. This is where you access that information, and you can pick different phones, different devices paired through Bluetooth. Store, this allows you to go to, we don't have an internet connection right now. If we did through Wi-Fi, if I had set that up with this, you'd be able to buy software, charts, that kind of thing. So that's those guys. These buttons, or these icons here, are for the different functions that you have on the screen. We have the standard from the factory is going to be chart. Press that, access your chart information. If we go back, sonar, you've got your sonar, side scan screen, down scan screen obviously, steer, navigation screen, shows you your chart in a different perspective. This is good if you're steering to a particular waypoint or using a route. And then you have instruments. And it's running through, when you hit that, it's going to come up with this first time configuration. Just let it do its thing. It's going to come up with these. Now we're going to go through each of these screens and show you how to customize them and how to set them up. But we're going to do those in individual videos for freshwater fish finder, saltwater fish finder, and the chart plotter. So stay tuned for those videos. We'll be posting them shortly after this one per week. So stay tuned. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, and we will see you back here soon. Thanks so much for watching.